Yo guys, Val here, and today we're gonna check my reactions to the new Doomsday Heist. I've not started up the game. This is the first time I've started up since the update installed, and I'm going straight into this not knowing anything. I've not watched any videos of the heist. The only thing I've seen is the trailer, so let's get into it. I'm online right now at my hangar, and I'm actually really excited to see what's gonna happen right now. I've not seen this yet, so yeah, new Doomsday Heist vehicles are now available to purchase. Great, good to know. So let's open up the internet and let's see what we actually have. So yeah, as you can see already, the war stock picture has changed. And you see if any of the other picture, actually no, it's not the war stock picture, it's the featured website. But let's see. So I'm guessing, yeah, the inside of the plane, it was an Avenger plane, which is basically the mobile operations center but in the sky, which is absolutely amazing. So as you can see, this is the mobile operations center, and then here is, what do I need? Oh, I need the facility. Okay, but it's 3.5 million. That's quite a lot. But to be honest, the mobile operations center costs about 2 million if you wanted it to get a good one. So I can't really complain about the plane being a bit more expensive than a truck. But then as we go down to our first prices, the Deluxo. This is the flying car, yes. And it's at a $4 million, $4.5 million, nearly 5 million, which puts this, at the moment, as the most expensive car in the game. And the trade price is slightly less than the Vigilante. So currently, until I see the other ones, this is the most expensive car in the game. Let's get onto the jetpack though, which is pretty much, this jetpack costs the same amount as the Vigilante, which is crazy. But I'm probably not going to be getting it for that reason alone. But either way, 3.7 million for the jetpack is crazy, and 2.75 million for the trade price. Okay, so now we have the tank. 4 people, that's actually quite a lot for a tank, although I don't know what I'm saying. 3.85, so that's about the Vigilante as well, and 2.895 for the trade price. So that's not too bad, I guess. That kind of makes sense for a tank. Yeah. So it works the price for me, unlike this jetpack. What are the next ones? Part of the Doomsday Heist. I don't want to reveal the prices. So what do we have here? We've got the Stormberg, which is 3 million. This is the underwater car, and it's just over 2 million to buy on a trade price. So I guess it makes sense for the underwater one to be slightly less than the flying one, because obviously you can't do as much underwater. Then we move on to the police truck. That's awesome. Finally some police cars in the game that we can store. And this comes at a trade price, or a price of 3.1 mil, and a trade price of 2.3 million. So I guess it's not as expensive as maybe a lot of people thought. It's fairly cheap compared to everything else we've seen in this heist so far, this DLC. So I can't really complain about that. This helicopter is gonna cost a lot, yeah, 3.7 million or 2.7 million. And it's the Akula. Yeah, let's carry on. So the next ones we've got are also Doomsday Heist. We've got the huge jet over here. The Volatile, 2.8 million for trade up, 3.8 million for buy it now. It's huge. I look at it. It's pretty much the size of the Bombushka, apart from it's half its price. Then we've got the barrage, which is 2 million. I guess it's not worth it, to be honest. Although it does have a turret in the back and a turret in the front, It's basically a non-armored version of the Insurgent, and the Insurgent is 1 million, whereas this is 2 million. So I feel like this is not really worth it. The next one we have is the missile launcher, 3.3 million or 2.5 million for trade up. According to me, this makes sense, given that it's literally a missile launcher thing, a missile launcher vehicle. And this, I guarantee it's actually pretty armored. Does it say anywhere how much people it stores? I'm gonna have to check that. Over here, 2 people, only 2 people. You think it's more by the amount of windows it's got there. But this plane stores 4, this stores 4, it makes sense. Next ones. That's all of them in Warstock, I guess. Yeah, that's all of them, because these are smuggler runs. So, I'm guessing there's none to Benny's, but I'm just gonna check real quick. Yeah, literally nothing. Elitas, Travel, Smugglers Run, so there's nothing here either. Legendary Motorsport. We've got the Fister Comet Safari, which is 710,000, which isn't too bad for a sports car. That's fairly cheap, to be honest. It's the most expensive Fister though. Then we also have the Ocelot Paria, I think that's how you say it, which is 1.4 million. I guess that also makes sense. And the Ubermacht SC1, 1.6 million. And we've also got the Coil Raiden, which is 1.3 million. So, fairly standard supercars. Dock T's, maybe there's something here. Nope. There's literally nothing. I'm guessing there's no new motorcycles, so these are the final vehicles. The Vapid Reata, 380,000. The class Yosemite, 485,000. That's it for the vehicles in this heist. But I'm really interested to see what new properties we have. So I'm gonna press it in 3, 2, 1. That's a lot of facilities, let's just say that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 facilities, and we've got the closest one over here. I'm surprised the IAA building isn't one. It would make sense, I guess, but obviously underground facilities. These look pretty sick from above once the screenshot changes. Yeah, from above this looks pretty sick. So this is so far, so 3 million roughly. 1.5 million next to Fort Zancudo. This is probably the one I'm gonna get, because as you can see I've got a hangar here, a bunker I mean, and a hangar right at Fort Zancudo. So I guess it would make sense for me to get this one as well, since it's near it. But you might not want to. 1.6 million, 2.1 million, 2.5 million, 1.8 million, 2.7 million, 1.4 million, and probably the cheapest one, 1.2 million. So the cheapest one comes at 1.2 million. Then we've got the 1.4. Probably the most useful one will be the one for 1.6 million, because most people probably have the hangars at Fort Zancudo. And yeah, so I'm probably gonna get this one. But let's see what we have in here. So the facility. These are pretty nice colors. And I've been kicked. Great. I'll be right back. So now that we've fixed that issue, let's just check the colors real quick. So we're starting off with a pretty standard look, the wooden floor. Then we can move on to a kind of darker feel, which I actually quite like. Then we've got this white and red one, this red and pale pink looking one, this blue one over here, this red and yellow, this kind of old looking one, this crimson looking one, and this green turquoisey one. So let's just put on blue for now. Then we've got a wall pattern, which is pretty cool. I wasn't expecting this for sure. But yeah, we've got this texture, this texture, this texture, this probably one of the best looking textures, this texture, this texture, this looks pretty cool, this, and probably this one. The orbital cannon is in the game. There is an orbital cannon in the game. It costs an extra $1 million, but nonetheless, an orbital cannon is in the game. Let's just hope this isn't as OP as it sounds, because from what it looked like, it's pretty damn OP. Then we go into security room, which obviously you can't see, but it's another 775,000. From this Bespoke Security Center, you can watch your battery of surveillance feeds and touch yourself in perfect way. Blast-proof seclusion. In addition, you'll gain access to exclusive strike team services. Ooh, elite mercenaries who can extend your murderous route to anyone in the state. Comes with a fitted gun locker as standard. So I feel like this is more options to send AI against players, because right now the only thing you can send is the mercenaries from Merryweather and Muggers, other players, but this adds some more AI things they can do. Then we've got a lounge, we've got privacy glass. I like that, although I don't know if I do. But nonetheless, there's utility, which is standard free. Then we also have prestige, which looks quite a bit better. And then we've got the premier. There's 40,000 between these two, and there's 200,000 basically between these two. And there's also the sleeping quarters, which costs 290,000 for the best one, looking one. Although this one looks pretty cool as well. So that's roughly 4.5 million you have to be ready to spend, which I guess isn't too bad, especially if you don't want things like the orbital cannon and you don't want the security room. Then you're down to 2.5 million basically. I guess most you don't have to really buy this or the privacy glass. So to be honest, you could keep it like this and get 1.6 million for probably the best one to choose from. But yeah, some of these prices are really crazy, but some of them make sense. The only thing I wish they added, which obviously wasn't going to be the case, but if they added the Avenger, wouldn't it be cool to see the submarine added as well? So then we would have an MOC on land, basically an MOC in the air, and an MOC underwater. That way we'd have a reason to buy the Stomberg, because right now I don't feel like there's any point in buying this car, given that 99% of the time you won't be spending in water or even underwater in this case. So I feel like this car is pretty much useless unless they added the submarine, which would be pretty cool, as I said. But that's not the case. So yes, as I said, some of these prices are crazy, others of them make sense, but apart from that, if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to leave a like and a comment, and make sure to consider subscribing if you're new around here. We're just starting out, so much love to all of you, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.